Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Have you realized that there are upcoming rice shortages and prices of all kinds of food are just skyrocketing? But rice is still readily available, but the price of rice has globally gone up every month for the last 5 months. Experts are saying that there is plenty of rice available for 2022, but they're predicting shortages for 2023. Now, as preppers, when we hear that shortages are on the horizon, that means if you need some in your stockpile, it's a good time to add to it. That's not panic buying, that's prepping. Food is still readily available, it is in the store, and anyone can go and get it. So for people to say that preppers are hoarders or they're panic buying and they're hogging everything is just incorrect. It only makes sense if you know that there will be shortages in the future and that's a food that you enjoy eating, that it's something that you want to make sure you have some extra so you can provide meals for your family. That's the whole point of prepping, to have the things you need when you want them. There are several reasons why the price of rice is rising and shortages are on the horizon. We know that there are rising fertilizer prices, rising fuel costs. We know that some countries are limiting exports. They're banning exports of certain types of food to other countries. We know that there have been typhoons in some of the areas where rice is grown, and we also know that there's droughts in other areas. Did you realize that rice is the main food source for over half of the world's population? Let's look at where the majority of rice is grown in our world. If you look at this chart from the World Economic Forum, it tells you that China produces 28% of our rice and India produces 23.5%. Just between China and India, they're producing half of the rice that is consumed worldwide. If things go wrong politically and we have turmoil with China, the ability to import things from there could come to a screeching halt. We also know that India has had problems with feeding their population historically. And so if there's going to be shortages from, say, typhoons or something, then they are not going to export. They're going to limit the food so that they have enough for their own population. Other countries don't seem to do that. Then there's always the complexity of so many countries in the world are buying the same type of products. And if you can't get them from, say, China, then they'll go buy them from India. And if you can't get them from India, then you need to start buying them somewhere else. And so you run into the problem with everybody is trying to buy up the limited resources that are available, which can send the prices skyrocketing as well. So to avoid any future difficulties obtaining rice or being able to buy it at an affordable price, it just makes sense to stock up now. Rice can last for 30 years if you store it properly. The better you store food, the longer it lasts. You need to store rice in an airtight container and then in a cool, dark, dry environment. What kind of containers can you use to store rice? You can use food-safe plastic bottles. They can be ones that you've cleaned and dried well. Make sure they've only held food and that you've cleaned them and allowed them to dry completely. You can also use glass jars. You can store rice in a food saver bag. You can store it in Mylar bags, but then those can be punctured. They can get tears in them, and rodents can chew on them. So you would want to make sure that you put anything that's in a food saver or a Mylar bag into something sturdy like a 5-gallon bucket. An easy way to have rice that can last the longest is to go ahead and buy it already sealed in a number 10 can. I have bought some rice and then stored it to last myself, but I've also ordered some of the number 10 cans from the LDS or the Mormon Church. You can buy them online from their website, and you can get 6 number 10 cans for an affordable price. How much rice should you store and stockpile? If you look at the recommendations from the LDS Church or Utah State University Extension Service, they say that 300 pounds of grains per person for 1 year. But that's all of the different grains, and they recommend that you store between 25 and 60 pounds of rice. The number 10 cans hold about 5.7 pounds each, so if you bought a 6-pack of that, you're getting a little over 30 pounds. So if you could buy 1 or 2 boxes, would give you the amount that you would want per person for a year. There are lots of foods that are long-lasting, Rice is one of them that's great to add to your stockpile, and if we know there might be shortages in the future, stock up now. It's only prudent to have the things that you need going forward so that your family can have the best outcome of every single day. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.